Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'd like to welcome everyone to the Temple of the Living God in St. Petersburg, Florida. Big welcome to everyone here in the house and a welcome to the people on social media. We are glad to have you with us. Well, we're going to start off with a really good song. It's called I Saw God. Yes.
Scripture says we should see God in each other. One, two, three, four.
Everybody get a little clapping going on there, yeah.
I saw God the other day. She looked like you.
Look like me?
Yeah, a pretty girl.
Wow.
I saw God the other day. Yeah, yeah.
Look like you.
With overalls on.
Overalls.
Now I'm going to tell you a story. And this one you can repeat. I saw God the other day, don't you know it? Just walking down the street. And she said,
I have something I want to tell you. Something I have really wanted to say. While you've been waiting for my return, the truth is, I never went away.
I don't care if you believe me at all. No, I know who I saw.
Who was it, Richard?
It was God. I don't care if you believe me at all. 'Cause I know who I saw.
Wow.
I said, hold on just a minute. How do I know it's really you? She gave me a simple answer. She said,
You don't. Unless you do.
well, wait a minute. I don't quite understand all this. Tell me, what do you want with me? You see, I'm not a religious type of person. She said,
I speak to everyone. But not everyone chooses to listen.
well, tell me, how should I treat my enemies? I mean, the people I despise. And she said,
The answer will be clear when you see me in their eyes.
I don't care if you believe me at all. No, I don't, 'cause I know who I
Who
saw.
was it, Richard?
It was God.
I don't care if you believe me at all.
'Cause I know who I saw.
Yeah.
It was God.
I saw
God the other day. Looked like Leroy.
He looked like Leroy.
I saw God the other day. Yeah. Looked like you.
Wow, looked like me.
Now I spoke to God that day, and you can speak to her too. And she told me,
Out of all the miracles ever made, the grandest one is you.
well, now that you told me all this, can you tell me, what am I supposed to do? And she said,
You may think it's up to me, but really, it's up to you.
well, now my eyes are open, and I can clearly see that all the things I paid for in life, I could have had them for free. Well, now I'm going to share this with you, her parting words that day. And you might want to think them through, because she said,
If I had only one son, then who are you?
I don't care if you believe me at all. I know who I
Who
saw.
was it, Richard?
I saw God.
I don't care if you believe me at all.
No, I know who I see. I
Yeah.
see God. I saw God the other day, and he looked like Leroy, yeah.
Looks like Leroy.
I saw God the other day, and looked like Annette.
Looked like Carmen.
I saw God the other day, yeah, yeah. I saw God the other day, yeah.
I saw God the other day.
It looked like you.
Today, we are blessed to have with us Reverend Annette Mason. She's going to be talking to us about let go. Are you kidding? So looking forward to that. I have a reading from Daily Word. It's entitled Freedom. The divine presence within guides me to freedom. At times, I may feel hemmed in by circumstances, limited by lack of opportunity, or faced with an unwelcome situation with no good choice. When that happens, I may feel anything but free. Rather than despair, I find my freedom in God and the limitless expression of my divinity. Shifting my presence from the limits of the world to the expanse and perfection of spirit, peace fills me. I relax and remember this: no earthly trouble is greater or more enduring than God. I claim the power of God and feel a strength beyond mere human strength as moment by moment I release limiting beliefs and reclaim the power I have given to my problems. Spirit lives in me and as me. This truth is my freedom. And I quote 2 Corinthians 3:17. Now the Lord is the Spirit, and where the Spirit is, there is freedom. And so it is. And now we are going to hear and be entertained by our talented Carol and the Goodfellows.
Goodfellows. This is one of Daniel Nahmod's good songs.
1, 2, 1, 2.
No more pushing and pulling, no more fighting and straining, so much laboring against waves and wind. I am tired, my arms are weary, back is aching, eyes are bleary, and I finally think I'm ready to give in. I have struggled, I have cried, I have screamed inside about the kind of life I've tried to lead. Now I think that it is time, for the very first time, to lay down my body and my mind and just be. If I stop steering my boat, will it sink? Oh no, current carries it along just so. If I stop steering my life, I'm gonna be alright. I'll just go where the ocean says to go. Down the block or to the moon, round the world or just to my room. I can't say where I'm supposed to end up, as if I could do no wrong. Finally along, my life has never been good enough. It's a funny thing, I guess, a prideful human thing, yes, without knowing what I've agreed to. There's a simple fact I find: the decision's never been mine. All I ever do is what I'm meant to do. If I stop steering my boat, does it sink? Oh no,
Current
carries me along just so. If I stop steering my life, it's gonna be alright. I'll just go where the ocean says to go. Well, it's a scary thing for sure to lay down my oars and quit pretending that I've ever been in charge. But it's scarier still to spend my strength and will and never even have a peaceful heart. So here goes the toughest thing. Ironic, don't you think, that it's so hard and so easy all at once? It's not laziness, it's just the deepest kind of trust that I'm okay when all is said and done. Yes, I'm okay when all is said and done. If I stop steering my boat, does it sink? Oh no, current carries it along just so. If I stop steering my life, I'm gonna be alright. I'll just go where the ocean says to go. If I stop steering my boat, does it sink? Oh no, current carries it along just so. If I stop steering my life, I'm gonna be alright. I'll just go where the ocean says to go. I'll just go where the ocean says to go. Yeah, keep swimming. I'll just go where the ocean seems to go. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Carol. What a joy every single Sunday. Such beautiful and inspirational music. My talk came about today because that song was sung a while back, and I said, please, could we hear it again the next time I'm up here, even though I had no idea when that was going to be. Turns out it's today. So thank you. And this is not the first time the music on Sunday has been an inspiration for me. So thank you all for this each and every week. We love it. When I first heard that a while back, I thought of trust big time, as you heard them sing. And I like doing this, so I'm going to do it again. If I stop steering my boat, does it sink? Oh, no. Current carries it along just so. If I stop steering my life, I'm going to be all right. I'll just go where the ocean says go. Trust. Now that can be a challenge even in the best of times. So how do we manage that now, these days? Well, I have some thoughts about that this morning, obviously given the title of my talk. But I'd like to tell you a couple of stories first. Years ago, I was a consultant with the Georgia Department of Education, which required traveling around to all the different school systems all over the place. And I found the back roads much more interesting than the interstate. This one back road was miles and miles of almost nothing, except for this little mom and pop gas station general store, which I managed to roll into this one day when my car broke down. I just made it onto their property. The husband and wife owners called a friend of theirs who ran a gas station at the nearest place, which was many miles away, who said he'd come when he could, tow me back and fix my car. While I was waiting, I watched TV in the back of the shop, which was where they lived. The wife made me coffee and bologna sandwiches. And we just sat and visited. And I had the best time with my new friends. And on top of that, the repair bill turned out to be a whole lot less than it would have been in Atlanta. And to tell you the truth, I really wasn't looking forward to the business that I had to take care of in Columbus anyway. It got rescheduled with somebody else to do it. It all turned out okay. I had been so well provided for, and I had absolutely nothing to do with it. Here's another story. I had severely injured my lower back, tore some of the muscles away. A friend of mine said that she was absolutely not happy at all about the way my doctor was taking care of me. So she made an appointment with another doctor, bundled me into her car, and drove me there. He turned out to be much better. But again, I didn't do this. Through no planning or action on my part at all. And my life is filled with other examples. So, what's the point of all this? How many times does the unexpected have to just show up in our lives before we really believe that it does, in fact, occur, and trust in it? Now, I am not advocating that we all go home and we sit on our couches, and just sit there and wait, like, okay, here I am. I know it's going to show up. I know it's coming. I don't know what it's going to be. Maybe the telephone's going to ring, or somebody's going to knock at the door. But all I have to do is just sit here and wait. Okay. Wait for it. No. That's one extreme. The other is as the song describes, which we heard a little while ago. So much pushing and pulling, so much fighting and straining, so much laboring against the waves and the wind. I am tired. Arms are weary. Back is aching. Eyes are bleary. Yeah. From trying to control everything, which we can't do anyway. We just can't, no matter how many lists we make and check them all off, no matter how many sleepless nights we spend worrying about everything, there are things that we don't control. The weather, we all know that living here in Florida. A new boss at work who then comes in and decides to change everything. family who come to town to visit? Anybody have that experience recently? But somewhere between these two extremes, I believe there's a place we can find where we can trust, where we can do both. Pay attention to our lives, doing what is ours to do to the best of our ability, and at the same time, trust that there is more. And that in the most unexpected ways, at the most unexpected times, good just might show up. How many of you know who Albert Einstein is? Oh, yes, of course. And he was a pretty smart guy, right? When he was asked what he thought was the most important question facing humanity, do you know what he said? Is the universe a friendly place? Considered as quite possibly the greatest mind ever, that's what the man said. Is the universe a friendly place? Oh, he elaborated further, explaining that it's up to us. We get to decide what kind of universe we live in. And out of that decision, out of that choice, everything arises. Friendly or not. We then perceive in a certain way, think a certain way, have certain expectations, take certain actions, and our lives then become an outpicturing of that. Buddha said pretty much the same thing 2,500 years ago. And in the New Testament, we find, as a man believeth in his heart, so he is. On the temple website, you'll find what we believe. We believe in the ineffable presence, eternal and omnipresent power of God, the infinite. God is expressed in, through, and as the life-giving force in the universe. God is the essential substance of the cosmos. All forms of life, known and unknown, share this force. All forms of life share this force. We share this force. We believe in a friendly universe. We can trust. We don't have to sit on the couch waiting. We don't have to make ourselves crazy and sick trying to control all those things we can't control anyway. We can instead stand firmly in the center, knowing the difference between those two extremes, and that we live in a friendly universe. And we can choose to pay attention because we know that good can come to us in unexpected ways. Now, you don't have to raise your hands. You don't have to raise your hands. But have any of you ever said something like, it was the strangest thing, you know? It just so happened that, whatever. Or, at this birthday party, I just happened to run into whoever. Or, I just happened to be watching or listening to or talking to. It just so happened? I don't think so. I think it's because we live in a friendly universe, because all forms of life share this force. We can choose to believe that we share in this divine force, which is the very nature and substance of the universe. We can choose to pay attention, to notice small kindnesses, unexpected surprises or good luck, or even such ordinary moments as getting in the right line at the grocery store. Not a small thing, right? Yeah. Sometimes we may even find guidance or an answer to a question in a conversation we overhear, or even in a TV commercial. We can come to see that all this is actually the norm, the way of things, because it's all part of the essential substance of the cosmos. We're 8 days into a brand new year. This can yet become the best year of our lives, not by sitting on the couch, waiting, or frantically trying to control everything, but by standing firmly in that center, believing that there is more, and in the most unexpected ways, at the most unexpected times, good just might show up. As that famous genius once said, we get to decide what kind of universe we believe we live in. I vote for the friendly one. Okay. I'm going to ask you now if you would all allow yourselves to get comfortable, and maybe we can consider some of those unexpected ways that good might show up in our lives from this point forward. So I'm going to ask you to just allow yourselves to get comfortable in your seat, shift around. Don't tell anybody, but if you want to take your shoes off, that's okay too, to get comfortable. And just take a few very relaxing, easy breaths. You don't have to do any special counting or anything at all. Just allow the breathing to be very normal. Your body has always been breathing. It knows what to do. I think by now we can trust it. Just let your body breathe comfortably and easily. And as you're breathing, allow yourself just to notice the very gentle music in the background. It's very soft and gentle. Allow yourself just to be bathed in it and carried along with it. And at this moment, for this moment, here in time, now, allow yourself to believe in the possibility that the universe is friendly. If that hadn't been your understanding of it, your view of it, up until this point, just allow yourself to consider the possibility that the universe is indeed friendly. And that good and benefit and all things of that nature could possibly be available to you. Allow yourself to consider that you are part of the divine force in the universe. Not only is it there for you, you are a part of it. You are inseparable from it. The nature of the universe, the nature of all that is your nature. And even if we don't know how, even if we can't explain when or explain anything about how good shows up for us, we don't need to. We just need to recognize that it does. So allow yourself now, as you look ahead to the new year, to be as open as you possibly can be to this idea, to this understanding, to this definition of what is and who you are. As you look forward to the new year, allow yourself to be open and receptive to everything that could be there for you. Even if you don't do any planning, even if you don't do any organizing, even if you of yourself do not see that you have engineered this, that you have set it up all by yourself, for yourself, acknowledge that maybe you just don't need to. Maybe it is in the way of things that all good can come to you because you are an inseparable part of that divine force. Allow your thoughts to move forward into how you see this new year in your life, being open to that possibility. Okay, very gently now. Allow yourself to return. Allow yourself to bring your attention back to the chair you're sitting in, back to the floor beneath your feet, and this space, bringing that openness of possibility and that sense of your place in the universe and in all of life, bringing that back with you, knowing that all good is possible everywhere at all times. Coming back and feeling wonderful and refreshed. Okay. We have a car.
Toyota Camry blocking a car in back, and she's sick and she can't get out. And so if you have a Toyota Camry and you're parked in the back, would you please move it? Anybody? License plate is 276HAA. Thank you. It's the time in our service for our gifts and our offerings. If the ushers would come forward, and I'd like to remind our remote congregation that you too can help support the ministry at the temple by clicking on the donate button, and I thank you. Divine intelligence, we give thanks for all that we have, all that we give, and all that we receive. We ask that these gifts be multiplied to support the ministry of the Temple of the Living God for its members, its family, and the community. And so it is. Thank you. Carol?
All right. Last song of the month. We're doing this song every Sunday this month. So if you know the lyrics, just join in. It's called Three Little Birds by Bob Marley.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, here we go. Don't worry about a thing. 'Cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Yeah? Don't worry, oh no, about a thing. 'Cause every little thing is gonna be alright. You rise up this morning, smile with the rising sun. Three little birds pitched by my doorstep, singing a sweet song, melodies pure and true. This is my message to you, yeah. Don't worry, let's hear it, about a thing, every little thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't worry, oh no, about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Rise up this morning, smile with the shining sun. Three little birds pitched by my doorstep, singing sweet songs, melodies pure and true. Oh, oh, this is my message to you. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't worry, oh no, about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Sing it out, sing it with us now. Don't worry about a thing, yeah, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't worry
Have a good day, everybody. Happy New Year.